Hello my loves, how are you guys today? Today we're going to be talking about drunk driving. Excuse the quality of the video, they'll all get better soon, just bear with me. So today's video is going to be about a young man named Jeremy Cooper. So guys, Jeremy Cooper loves playing guitar and piano and skateboarding. He's a super Christian man with all the love in the world for God and everybody around him. Just all around amazing person. Jeremy was born in Houston, Texas, and his parents are Nessa and Phil. He would later move to Oklahoma where he was raised. On April 21st, 2021, around 10 p.m., Jeremy's parents would get a knock at the door. The knock at the door was a police officer. His parents already were kind of like, okay, what's going on? Because, they're not bad people. They're not in trouble. Cops don't usually come to your door and knock that late at night. You know what I mean? They were already kind of like, heart pumping, nervous. Why are you here? What's going on? The officer would then give Jeremy's parents the worst news a parent could ever even get. And that was that their son was in a car crash. And a drunk driver crashed into him. And that he might not make it. So guys, just think for a second how devastating this just had to be to hear. In the middle of the night, when you were already kind of worrying, about your son. You always worry about your kids. Why are they late? They're usually home at this time. Why this time? Jeremy had just started a new job, just got a new car, so his mom was kind of like, okay, it's probably just, that. He's working a little late, whatever. But no. The police showed up at the door and they had to hear this devastating news. Worst nightmare for a parent. Jeremy's parents were so devastated, guys. Any parent would be that loves their children. These parents are amazing parents too. This crushed them. Eyewitnesses were there though. There was a couple that actually stopped to help Jeremy. Two actually, but we're going to talk about this first one first. They said that the drunk driver was actually behind them, speeding on and off and swerving. They said when they came over the hill, the drunk driver swerved into the other lane and hit Jeremy head on. So the first couple to stop would stop and run to Jeremy immediately. They heard him choking on his blood, so the man tilted his head up a little bit to help him breathe better. And the car was just crushed. It was demolished. Jeremy was hanging on by a thread. The second couple would stop because they seen what was going on and obviously how bad the car was. So they ran to Jeremy's car as well, and the lady in this couple would reach over Jeremy and unbuckle his seatbelt to help him breathe a little better as well. They claimed that during this time, the drunk man was just walking and stumbling around. By the grace of God, an ambulance would see the wreck. Not the one they called either. The ambulance just happened to be on that road that night. The ambulance would stop and help stabilize Jeremy's leg until the ambulance that was actually called got there. No jaws of life or anything were needed because the car was just absolutely ripped open. Jeremy got to the hospital and they did not think he was going to make it. But another grace of God situation, the trauma team that night didn't have many patients. It was a really slow night. So Jeremy had every person on the trauma team by his side, and they worked on Jeremy for at least 6 hours straight. There was so many things going on in Jeremy's body, so many broken bones, so much. The average human being has 10 units of blood in their body. Jeremy lost 18 units of blood, you guys. Now, the fact that those two couples stopped to help Jeremy and that ambulance had no place to be and stopped to help Jeremy and the trauma team had a slow night and was there with Jeremy all night. To Jeremy's mother, this was amazing. She would call these moments God moments. His mother said that more than likely, if it wasn't for the couples and the ambulance showing up and the trauma team not having a busy night, that Jeremy probably wouldn't have made it. Jeremy's pelvic bone was broken and bleeding internally, and they had to do emergency surgery on that. He had major face trauma, broken temporal bone, nose, and cheekbone. He had to have 2 face surgeries to rebuild the left side of his face, and his jaw had to be wired shut. His left eye would have to be sewn shut in hopes at saving it, because they thought that he was going to lose his left eye. Jeremy had brain bleeding and brain swelling, and the doctor had to put in a shunt. Jeremy's left leg was broken in a few different spots, and due to the bone coming through the leg, they had to do many skin grafts and wound vacs. There were rods and screws all in his left leg and everything. The doctor actually thought that Jeremy was going to lose his left leg, but luckily they saved it. Jeremy also had a left rib and his left arm broken. Jeremy's spleen and liver would cause internal bleeding, and he had to be on a breathing machine for over a week. When Jeremy got a little bit better and his peg tube was removed, they also had to do emergency surgery on that as well. Jeremy spent over 5 weeks in the hospital. After about a month, his jaw was unwired, and after about 2 months, his eye was unsewn, but he still does not have vision out of his left eye and probably never will. Due to COVID and, all the restrictions going on with that jazz, Jeremy couldn't really have many people up there at the hospital with him, so it was mainly either his mom or his dad alternating turns to go see Jeremy and be by his side. Jeremy's mom said that there was some awesome times in the hospital, though, that really helped her have even more faith that she already had, because she's a very faithful woman, especially to God, and she had faith. But the fact that they said when he was in an induced coma, he would kind of play the piano in the air by his bedside. And when he got moved from ICU to a different floor, and they were communicating on dry erase boards, he was starting to draw pictures of family members, which obviously meant that his brain was functioning pretty good. And, his dad asked him to give a thumbs up, and he gave a little hand sign he always does. And it's really awesome. They were really happy seeing this kind of stuff while he was healing in the hospital. This whole situation really put a strain on Jeremy, obviously, and his parents and his family and friends and girlfriend. They all suffered too through all of this. It was really a tragic time. In the U.S., every single day, 28 people die from drunk driving crashes. That's around 1 person every 52 minutes. And if you know anything about me, you know that I have a past. And so I ain't even going to sit here and try to pretend I'm better than anyone. I have drove drunk before, and I regret it more than anything. It's embarrassing even saying it on here because, I've changed a lot, and it's not okay. It is not okay. I don't care how cool or how faithful you are in your driving. I don't care how sober you feel. I don't give a crap. Don't drive drunk. Everybody in the world is loved by somebody. Everybody is somebody's child, somebody's baby. I don't care if they're 80 years old. To their parents, they're still their baby. So please, please, please do the best and make the right decision, and don't take somebody's baby from them. There are so many options nowadays to get home without having to drive drunk. I'm not saying you can't go out and have fun and get all turned. That's on you. But do the right thing. Come on, guys. If you know you're going to get drunk, give your keys to somebody and you say, look, don't let me have these back no matter what. And call me a cab, call me an Uber, call my mama, call my friends, Or, hey, when you get off work tonight, can you even take me home? Get somebody to take you home, please. And I mean, I'm going to tell you right now, I'd rather you sleep in your car till the next day, than get in the car and drive home drunk. For every drink of alcohol you have, no matter if it's one shot, one beer, or what, for every shot or beer you have to wait 1 hour before getting behind the wheel and starting your car up and driving. So if you have 2 beers, you shouldn't go anywhere for 2 hours unless you have a ride from a sober person. And, even though I say that, if you still don't feel okay after that time you went through that time, don't get behind the wheel. Don't do it. If you still feel super drunk or just not right after an hour of only, and you only had 1 beer or 1 shot, you just still don't feel right after that hour, don't get in the car. Don't do it. Wait a little longer. Call someone. I'm telling you guys, though, when you get behind that wheel and start up that car and take off drunk, and you get into a crash and you kill somebody, that is not just devastating to obviously their family and friends, but you're going to spend a lot of time in prison and you're going to have a hell of a future. So not only does it affect the person that gets hurt, but it affects the person driving drunk as well. Just don't do it. But man, Jeremy, he is healing. He's doing so much better. He has a long ways to go still, rehab-wise and stuff, and getting his body all going again. But this this man is a tough cookie, guys. I mean, compared to last year, comparing it to now, he is just, wow. I'm just so amazed. Jeremy spends a lot of times now talking about how drunk driving is not a good thing to do. He speaks in churches and at, meetings and those, drunk driving things. If you've ever had a DUI, you have to go, listen to people and their testimonies and stuff, and he speaks at those too. Jeremy was already super close to God, guys. He was amazing. He is amazing. Super Christian, like I said, and this all just brought him closer to God. One of the coolest things, though, is his family is just so forgiving, and so is he. And when I say that, I'm not saying that they don't care about what happened. They don't think that the drunk driver should serve time or be punished for what he did. I'm just saying they have a heart, and they really look at him as a human being that made a bad decision, and they try to understand him the best that they can. And I think that's beautiful. He nearly killed somebody, and he spent months healing and still is healing after a year now. And they still chose to have a forgiving heart, and that's beautiful, guys. Now, court sessions and stuff like that are still going on. It's not all over yet. So I don't have all the end results for that. However, I think the last court date is coming up. So, in the future, if you want to know more about this case, look in the description below, and I will update it every now and then when I get more information about the court and the guy that was driving drunk. Also, in the description below, I will add any videos that they're okay with me adding that involves Jeremy talking about what happened, his testimony, speaking against drunk driving and all that, along with his mother and his family, if they want their videos in there too. I am so happy you guys joined me today and listened to the story about this wonderful man, and I hope that you stick around, and watch more of my videos in the future. Now, my YouTube channel is obviously about a lot of different things, but it all revolves around jail, prison, crime, murder, drunk driving, all that stuff. And I created this YouTube channel because I want to build a community that wants to help and not just listen and not just tell, but help. Because there's so many missing people, so many cold cases, and so many new cases that if we do our best by telling the stories and sharing them and doing what we can to look around and be aware of our surrounding, maybe we can help bring some people home and solve some cases. So please, guys, if you are all about listening to these true stories about people's lives and wanting to actually help people that go through this stuff too, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell to be alerted when I make more videos. Also, don't forget to like this video to show me and Jeremy and his family some support. I love you guys so much. Y'all are so amazing. I'm so glad you've been here listening to me jibber jabber. But, man, having you guys around means a lot because we can make a difference in the world with you guys. Y'all are my team. I love you guys so much. As always, be very safe out there. Be aware of your surroundings. Be nice. Be very kind to each other. And don't drive drunk or with any other thing in your system. Unless it's like Dr. Pepper. That's cool. That's cool. Dr. Pepper's cool. So karate chop that subscribe and like button and join my community. Love you, my K-Bays. Guys, if you have problems with addiction, whether it's alcohol, drugs, or really anything that you need help with, please reach out to somebody. There are many places you can go, many places you can call. You can Google almost anything that you need, and somebody will help you. If you're nervous at any time or you need help getting help, please email me and I will do my best to help you get better and recover. Also, if you have any stories you would like me to share, please email me at the same email and I'll get back with you.